Back on Morning Mover, shares of Alibaba are continuing their recent strength after reports that GameStop CEO Ryan Cohen has boosted his stake in the company to 7 million shares, worth about $1 billion. Cohen, known for his large stake in several companies, initiated the stake in Alibaba 2 years ago. The Chinese e-commerce giant also finding strength this morning after receiving price target hikes at B of A and Barclays. Alibaba up about 60% in 2025, nearly 40% this month. Time now for Options Corner. Joining us to take a deeper look at Alibaba, we've got Rick Ducat, lead market technician, Duke of Data. All right, Rick, what are the trends that you are noticing when it comes to the chart for Alibaba?
Yeah, definitely a stock on the move to the upside here, with the pre-market strength looking like it's going to continue as we conclude this trading week. We can see that we had a high point back here that we established at this light green line near about 118 or so, just below that mark. Then we had another big push to the upside. Now we've topped out near about 144.50. We've got some gaps to watch here, and we can also see that there's been very heavy volume spikes almost every day for the past several weeks here. By that I mean volume at least 50% above the 50-day simple moving average of volume. RSI also quite high, overbought here, a reading of 86. Really, RSI only goes to 100, so that's a very elevated level. Some horizontal and support levels to consider here. The +4 standard deviation channel, about 149, so that's one area to the upside to consider. The +3 channel comes in around 137, Diane.
All right, and then any notable options activity in the stock yesterday?
For sure. The March 21st expiration, that's the biggest overall open interest here. And we can see that the 105 strike for both calls and puts is the most active here. Either way, though, price is far beyond all of these strikes to the upside here. So heavy strikes that are closer to current prices on the call side, 130, 140, and 150. Puts, much less open interest anywhere near current levels. The activity doesn't really pick up until you start getting to 115 and below. The biggest, or not the biggest rather, but one of the biggest single trades we saw yesterday, plus 3,000 March 21st, 140, 170 call vertical at a 660 net debit, break even 146.60, looking for new highs, and a $1.98 million debit paid.
All right, thanks, Ton. Rick Ducat. All right, and we've got an example trade for you to take us through that. We've got Tom White, senior options contributor and co-host of Fast Market. All right, Tom, how would you structure an example trade for Alibaba in the context of we got some new price targets and it's been climbing the steady mountain this year?
Yeah, typically I'd look at this and say, okay, the RSI is above 86. It's probably going to open up around the 90 level. Anything above the 70 level on an RSI is overbought. So it's extremely overbought, and the contrarian in me would typically take maybe a neutral to bearish type stance. But I looked at something because of the volume metrics right now. People are piling into this stock. Call volume is about double normal daily average volume that we've seen over the last 5 trading sessions. So I looked at something where I can offset the cost on a bullish type trade here. I went out to the March monthly cycle, so giving myself 28 days to expiration on this position, where I'm going to buy an unbalanced or broken wing call butterfly to the upside to offset some of those costs. I'm going to buy one of the 140 strike calls. It's slightly in the money by about $1. I'm going to sell 2 of the 155 strike calls, and then wrap it all up by one of the 160 strike calls. So in essence, in this strategy, you're buying a bullish $15 wide call vertical, offsetting some of the costs by selling a $5 wide call vertical. That creates this unbalanced call butterfly. You're paying roughly, if the stock opens up around 141, you're going to be paying around a 430 debit, maybe a little bit more than that. But that debit is going to be your risk on this trade. And you can see from the risk profile, it takes my break even up to 144.30. Anything above that level going into expiration over the next month is going to be profitability because I made this a broken wing butterfly. Now, even if it does continue to move higher, gets above that 155, 160 level, it's still going to be more than a double in profitability because of the debit that I paid on this one. That break even 144.30. That's only about 2.5% above what the stock price is going to open up at, which is around 141. So this might be the way to play it. If you're still bullish on this name, but you can offset some of your costs as opposed to maybe just buying a call outright or buying a call vertical. The call butterfly here, low cost entry point, pretty good risk reward scenario on this one.
All right, that's an example trade. Call butterfly is the structure there. We've got Alibaba shares higher in the pre-market. Thanks a ton for that example trade there, Tom.